we need to understand how the data ingestion takes place inside Snowflake from the front end. So for that, let us create a file. The name of the columns in the file can be ID, name, address, country. Let's make it of a big file, so of somewhere around 500 records. And I'm going to save this file as a CSV file. Let's close this file. Let's create a table for it. So the table is created over here. We can see the data in the table is absolutely empty. Now we need to load that file into this table. So we will go to add data. In Database Explorer. We'll go to our database, our schema. Inside our schema, we'll go to our tables. Our table is data ingestion. And after clicking on the table, we can see a load option is coming on the top right. So we'll select on it. We will browse the file, our sample file. We have uploaded that file. The file is successfully loaded and we can see the file is successfully uploaded and we can see that it is going into this particular database and particular schema. And the target over here is the table. So let's say if you chose the wrong table while selecting the table, you can change it from here also. But as of now, we know we want to load it into the data ingestion table. So I'll click on next. Once I click on next, so at the right hand side, it will show us the schema of the table and also a data preview. Okay. But what we are interested is in the file format option. So we can see that we have this delimited files, which is our structured files like CSVs and TSVs. And these all are our semi-structured data types. That is JSON, Parquet, Avro, Orcan, XML. So we'll go with the delimited files. We can select view options. Now this is where a very important concept comes in. So the file that we have uploaded, it has 500 records, but if I consider the header also, it has 501 records. So while
Mm.
uploading the file, we have to make sure, do we want to upload the header also as a record or do we want to skip the header? So what we will say skip first line. So if we are saying skip first line, in that case you can see the data preview is 1 2 3 4 5. But if I say no header, here you can see ID column has come into the data, name, address, country. So the name of the columns are bringing or coming inside the rows. Okay, so the best option is to go with skip first line. So what we are saying that the file that is under ingestion, please skip the first line, which is actually our header, that is the columns. Next is we decide what kind of a delimited file we are uploading right now? Is it a comma separated, separated, vertical bar separated, semicolon separated, tab separated, or let's say you want to give your own character separated, so you can custom also. Ours is a comma separated, so we'll go with it. The remaining options are default options. We can ignore them for now. I will click on table preview. If I click on table preview, you can see how the top 5 rows of the data looks like. This is how your schema preview looks like. I'm going to click on load data. So once the data is loaded, we can see it has loaded 500 rows. I'll mark it as done. I'll go back to my worksheet. In my worksheet, I'll see if any data has come into the table or not. So I'll just hit the query, select star from data ingestion, and we can see 500 records have been successfully loaded into our table. We can see this information by clicking on or taking our mouse on top of the table. So we can see the metadata information comes into it. We can see 500 rows. The size of the table is 3 KB. The owner of the table is account admin and the table was created 6 minutes before. We can also see the definition of the table, that is the DDL of the table. Now let's move to next step. I will truncate this table and we will redo the process of loading the data into the table, but we will understand what is happening at the back end. So I'm gonna again go over here into the database explorer. I'm gonna open my database, my schema, my tables. I'm gonna click on my table and I'm gonna click on load data over here. I'm gonna browse. I'm gonna select the same file. I'm gonna do next. After next, I'm going to go to the view options and here I'm going to select as skip as first line. Now, instead of hitting load data, I want to see what happens if I click on load data. So we can see an option coming over here that is show SQL. So I'm going to copy this and I'm going to come into my worksheets and I'm going to repeat the process and I'm going to paste that into a notepad. We'll come to this later. As of now, let me just go back to the database explorer and just load the data so that we have 500 records. So it has loaded successfully. Coming back to our worksheets, the query that we copied, we're going to bring it into our worksheet and we are going to analyze what this query is actually doing. So this is what the query is actually looking like. So what is it? So we are being introduced to a new command that is called copy command. And we can see that what is the command saying? Copy into the database September's schema weeklies data ingestion table. And what to copy into this table is select 4 columns. Our file had 4 columns. Select 4 columns from, we can see some characters coming over here at the rate. We can see some intermediary or temporary files are being referred by Snowflake over here at the backend. We can also see the sample file being used. So we can see an attribute called files equal to sample file. We can see some file format options coming over here and we can see some statement called on error equal to abort statement. So what does it mean? It means that at the backend, what are you doing? You are actually executing copy command. You are passing the file names via the file attribute. You are passing the file format options via the file format attributes. You are deciding what to do in case an error comes, and you are also telling what all columns to be selected from the file that has been considered file uploading and what is the file altogether. I would like to bring the attention to this line that is from. So this line that is from is a temporary internal stage that is being created by Snowflake. Now, what is an internal stage? We will take it in our later sessions.